Hey guys, John from John King Electrical. This is the trailer that I had made in December. Just going to give you a quick walkthrough. Had it about 6 months now, and yeah, it's bloody great. So I figure I'd give you guys a bit of a walkthrough. The reason I'm a Sparky with a trailer is because we got a big family. We got 6 kids. I like to be able to pick the kids up, drop the kids off from school, go and do a job, and then pick the kids up again from school. So this thing's perfect for us. It's obviously, you don't see a whole lot of Sparkies with trailers, but for me it works really well. So yeah, I've had a few extra options for this thing added, so I'll walk you through them and then just show you what I did to, ignore the mess by the way, we've moved in with my mum. So all 8 of us are living with my mum at the moment in her 3-bedroom house. Just while we look for a new place. So yeah, it's a bit hectic back there. Right, so this is the brake. I chewed through brakes with my old trailer that was a lot smaller than this, so I had stuff like overflowing into the back of the car, which was no good as well. So I went for a bigger trailer, which has been this thing's a game changer for me. So that's why I got braked. Hydraulic brakes aren't as touchy as they used to be. You can actually reverse this thing up a pretty sort of medium incline, which is really good. I've been stuck a couple of times where you go to reverse up something too steep, and so obviously just flip that down when and disengage the brake when you need to reverse it. But yeah, aside from that, it's just operated flawlessly, no dramas at all, and it's pretty smooth. It doesn't sort of jerk the car around every time you stop and go. So yeah, great braking system. It's a LMTT 7x5 HD. That's the model, the Loadmaxx model number. 1200 kilos, tear mass 400. And maximum load is 800 kilos. So that's not a whole lot because it's only single axle, but I'm a Sparky, so I don't carry a ton of really heavy gear. I'm very confident I'll be under that 800 kilos. So yeah, that's the brake. I'll probably change this thing out when I get around to it. I'll probably do an electric, mount a little battery in there somewhere and do an electric jockey wheel. You can get hydraulic ones with a button on them, and that'll just make life a little bit easier. But this thing's fine. It just obviously sometimes if it's a bit low to disengage that lock mech, I have to use use the old car jack. Anyway, so I've put just an Anderson on it, just some solar cable because that's what I had floating around, and that feeds an electric box, which I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, the cable goes up there in some conduit, punches into this box. This box is just full of cable. It's open, I'll show you. Yep. So it makes a good little cable box. I haven't done anything to that. That's just how it came, and it just so happens to fit smaller drums up there nicely, and the bigger drums sit down the bottom. I try and keep the Cat 6 in the middle because it's the least heavy. I don't want to bend that's probably one thing I'll add if I ever have to, is some sort of support under the middle of that box, just because of obviously a lot of weight in there. Probably half my weight's just in that little spot. So yeah, but no dramas with that. And just so happens that a 4-step sits perfectly there, so that worked out well. Just put a little eye bolt there and another one there, and I'll just clip and unclip that ocky that holds the little 4-step there. So yeah, that kind of just accidentally worked out well. And these roof racks were extra as well. So the extras I got were this box added on the front, this style of rack, which is a bit more substantial than the stock racks that it comes with. And then I can, put a million ladders up there, but I'm trying to stick to the A-frames. They seem to get me through most of my jobs. I do like it's probably 90% domestic, so don't need anything too crazy for that. If I'm doing anything sort of industrial and I think I'm going to have to go up a bit higher, or I've got some other ladders, did a couple of them down there and other ladders floating around, so yeah. But these racks are great, they're huge. I can't remember the span of them, but yeah, pretty juicy racks. So anything, I've tied a lot of stuff on there, and super solid. The welds are all good in this thing, so yeah, Loadmaxx did a really good job. They've drilled little holes everywhere for drainage and stuff like that. It's been quite well thought through, and for how light it is, I mean, what's the tear weight? So yes, ridiculously light. So awesome little trailer. It does stick out quite wide. The 7x5 is wider than my car, just. So I've got to be really careful around corners that I don't flip this thing. But here's so this is just until I remember which side's which. I've got little things there saying stock. So this is the stock side. That's the electric box that the Anderson plug feeds. And I've got, this one's my lights. I've got LED strips up there and on the other side as well. And then just feeds all my chargers. So, 12 volt Milwaukee charger, head torch charger. That's the head torch battery charging bit. And I've snuck some stuff down there. There's lots of little sneaky spots that I'm learning to fill. So yeah, that's obviously where that cable punches through into that box. I think it's a Kick-Ass. No, it's a King's box. Sorry, King's. So I don't know, cheap and nasty, but it gets the job done. With just for 12 volt stuff, don't ever get a cheap solar charger if you're running a battery. My camping setup over here on this trailer, it's a camper trailer, but in that front box I've got battery, and there's a solar panel on the roof, and the solar charger that I got from King's broke in like a week. So don't get a cheap solar charger, get I think I've got a Victron one in there now, which is pretty cool. So this is racking out of an old van that someone was just selling secondhand. Actually, I'll show you the frame first. So the platform that I did my little build on, and these chains I added just so that I could use it as a workbench and use this vise. And that got printed, can't actually remember, coversandall.com.au I think was the website. They did a great job with that rear wheel cover. That was another extra, was the spare on the back. You could mount other stuff there. You could do like a water thing, or just some, if you're a chippy, you could do your air gun hoses or whatever. But yeah, spares there for me. So this is the shape of the frame. It's a bit of a funny, it's very odd. I came up with this specifically for me to suit my gear. So it's very different to most of the trailer setups you'll see. So the base is actually, obviously goes up, across, and then it goes up again, and then across again. The timber on this side is a lot higher. So it's a split level. And I put minimum amount of barriers in between everything as I could, just so that I can reach through and grab stuff. So down here, just all my long stuff. Got a mattock, a table, timbers long level, some cable train, bits and pieces. And I've also got a little, so this is all just a timber base here. And if I want to get in there, that's a little, that pops up, and I've got some boots in there and stuff. Laser tucked back there. But I can get to the front because it's, access is obviously a problem if something slides all the way up there. So I just, countered that with a little trapdoor. And then this one's obviously a lot taller. And I'll show you why I want to get around there. But that's my Packout trolley. And there's just a torch, but that's my Packout trolley in there. And that just fits in between these two supports here. So I welded this up inside the trailer, so it's never coming out. And then just techied it to the bottom because I can't weld aluminium, so just some tech screws, and that seems to be doing the trick. Yeah, and then like timber base. So on top of this side, which is the lower side, so I've got more room here, so this is more about getting height so I could fit more shelving in, because I love my shelving. This is just a piece of like drainage gutter stuff from Bunnings, and it's just handy to have that there because I can put other long stuff that maybe isn't quite long enough to go under the bottom there. So earth stakes and the pole from my roller, 600 level. My 900 level used to live in here, but that's busted now. But yeah, so this is just handy, sort of an overflow of long stuff. I don't know why that's in there. It's got nothing to do with anything. Yeah. So kick-ass travel oven. That thing saves me a lot of money in smoko snacks. It's nice to have a hot meal, especially on cold days. And I've got a 12 volt, a little fridge behind my passenger seat in my car as well. And I run all this off of a 100 amp hour leisure battery. It's just an AGM in my car. It's just under the hood with a solar charger, a DC charger, and yeah, 100 amp hours, and I've never managed to flatten it. So, and I run obviously the oven, the fridge, and the chargers. So I juice it, and it's still going. It's, I don't know how many years old. I've had that thing a lot of years, and it usually runs everything in that too, just because it's bigger than I've only got a 50 amp hour in the front there. So I'll run you through my little racks, just because I assume there's some Sparky nerds watching that want to know every little detail. So isolators and weatherproofs. These drawers are really deep, these ones. So yeah, it's nice. I've got some deep ones at the back and then some more shallow ones at the top, just because they're shaped for a van. But yeah, that's my weatherproofs and isolators. 413s and QCs, J-boxes. These little bad boys are awesome. I don't understand why everyone's not using these. They're so handy. I at least use one a day. And Voltex are doing 4 terminal ones eventually. They keep saying they're going to bring them out, but they definitely need a 4th terminal in there. 3 at the moment. It's a bit of a bummer, but anyway, when they get the 4th, that'll be good. This is attachments for stuff, just grinder bits and drill bits and multi-tool bits. Smokies, obviously. Could have a smoky debate. I won't start that. What do we got? So this is fire. Girder clips, cleaning stuff, fan mechs, and then fire. Back here on my fire stuff. So that's a little hot devil for little stuff, and then that's the big boy that I don't use very often. For like really massive heat shrink and stuff like that, it does come in handy though. So just globes and LED stuff, heat shrink. This isn't a great system for heat shrink because obviously can't get the long stuff. I probably might come up with something in the roof one day where I can put long heat shrink. Just bits and pieces for switchboards, cables, mostly. We got blue points and bushings, more switchboard stuff. So, yeah, nothing super exciting in there. Yeah. What else got? Testers. Oh, hang on. Yep, penetrations and shrouds. Solar gear. and architraves. Architraves were somewhere else, but they overflowed a bit. Yeah, architraves I had in this one, but they got too many of them. So, oh, testers. It's got the Mega, data tester, clamp meter, RCD, tripper, and my normal multi. And then I keep a prong tester just in the other side. I keep all the stuff that I use constantly in the other side. Brackets. So everything's really accessible. Like this system's been great so far. I highly recommend, if you're thinking about going down the trailer route, do one side stock and one side tools. Round boxes and clips. We've got mechs and dimmers, and like, see, I still haven't filled it all as well, which is oh, that's where the architraves were. Sorry. So that's all that gear. I won't show you all these because you know what a friggin' PowerPoint looks like. 1 gang switches are at the front, 2 gangs are next, 3 gangs at the back, and 4 gangs at the back as well. GPOs, and then like different kind of GPOs of the switch, and 1 gangs and 15 amperes and stuff like that are in that middle one. And then at the back, 5 and 6 gang switches and some other, I don't know, blank plates and these weird, where is it? These things that Voltex have done with the terminals behind the blank plate. So, yeah, brush plates. Mounting blocks. This is all just mounting blocks at the front. And then 4 gangs and like USB power points and stuff at the back. And because it's a little bit hard to get to that back section unless I pull that out, I actually haven't put a divider in the middle. So that's, you can see straight through the other side. I put the least amount of sort of dividing stuff as possible, just so everything's as accessible as it can possibly be. Normal clips, AS3000, and this is like a switchboard book that I've got. Might as well show you. Yeah, so just stickers and stuff. Nothing too exciting in there. So like little fiddly drill bits, stuff that I don't use very much here. Spare drill bits, little like security bits, metal zip ties. Yeah. What else have I got in there? Some patch leads. And then this is that. So these two I haven't really fully organised yet. They're sort of just, they've become my bits of boxes. So vernier, caliper, stud finder, bit of label maker, solder gun, heaps of tape. This thing's cool. This is like a Wi-Fi inspection camera. That comes in handy for getting things through fiddly spots in walls. Then just a magnetic thingammy-jingamy. Obviously got all. So these were 3D printed from some fella. I think he was on Facebook. I cannot remember for the life of me what the guy's name was though. Sorry about that fella. But they're handy. I'm sure you'll be able to find them. They're on a Sparky forum, one of the Sparky forums on Facebook. Super handy just to keep those out of the way. And the gun just sits down in there. Everything that I didn't originally organise has just sort of fallen into its own little spot. So this is all stock, just downlights and yeah, little bits and pieces, sensors, floodlights, boxes, switchboards, a couple of switchboards there. I think a 12 and an 18 pole. Safety gear, so just all gloves and masks and some Bluetooth. I don't use these anymore. I use the little Milwaukee earbuds, electric earbuds. The Bluetooth ones, they're really cool. Because I can work in a customer's house and just listen to a podcast or something while I'm working, and it doesn't look like I'm enjoying myself, but I am secretly. Yeah, and this is just an overflow of tools that I don't use very much, like spare tape measure, spare screwdrivers. I just keep spare stuff just in case, you know. Always those days when you can't find your level or your chisel. That's just where I go for that. Some extra straps. All right, that's that side. I think we're done here. Oh, and that's where my roller legs, they sort of tuck in there and fold around in there. Just like I said, things just sort of fell into place. So this side, so this was the base that I built it around, was the Packout system. Just because I like being as efficient as I can, and Packout really helps with that when I've got, you know, I don't get this stuff out unless it's sort of at least a half day's work and I'm working a little bit away from the trailer. If it's a long driveway or up a set of stairs or whatever, or if I'm just working in one spot all day, I take out my trolley, which is in there, and then I stack on, if I'm really going hard, I'll stack this box on, and if I'm going extremely hard, I can actually stack both of my drawers on, and then any of these that I need, and I'll walk you through what they contain in a sec. And then I put this bad boy on top, so I can just dump whatever stock that I need in. I always carry a bucket and dustpan. Love me some bucket action. A couple of drop sheets just tucked at the back there. My hat, which I'm not going to be needing for 6 months because it's getting mighty cold in Adelaide. Charged batteries, so that's when I've recharged them, I clip them up there. Obviously all the switchboard stuff, I just mounted a DIN rail on the back of that that shelving system. And this is what I mean, I can reach stuff in the back of these from the other side, which is handy as well. So I can't really get things like lost in any corners here because I've tried to avoid leaving spots that I can't easily access. So this is the belt, tough built one that just clips on and off. It's kind of gimmicky. I don't really ever unclip it. Kind of pointless. I don't know. I thought it'd be cool, but it's not. But it's like the idea is you can have a bunch of different pouches for different jobs, and I could put some mounting stuff up here and have different pouches, but I only ever really used this one pouch. I bought a second pouch and I just never used it. So yeah, but I mean, you know, it's comfy. It's a very comfy belt. The tough built belt's super duper comfy, real thick and padded on my tum-tum, which is nice. So that's my heavily laden belt, which I can do. Most of my quick jobs I can do with just this. Sometimes I'll take my driver in as well. This is handy just for different bits, but I haven't been putting them back on, so they're empty. I've got to stay on top of this or it becomes a bit chaotic. I like strippers. You don't have to like strippers, but my wrists and thumb gets really sore if I'm stripping. Just saves me the hassle. People say, you know, they damage copper and stuff. They really don't. They don't damage copper compared to doing it with your pliers. Yes, I can strip the pliers without damaging the copper, but you know, occasionally you do. With these, you just can't. It's impossible. So I like strippers. Magnet, which comes in handy a lot. Screwdrivers and needle nose. This is cool. I'll show you this. So it's actually LED level. Just because I've got bad knees, I don't like getting down low to see what the bubble on the level's doing. So with that, I can click a button. I don't have to squint, can just see it. It's, yeah, very handy actually. What else we got? These little guys, the vessels that everyone's using. I'm a fan. If you're doing lots and lots of monotonous, but I always tighten terminals when I'm doing things up that I'm going to leave, you know, in a wall for 50 years or even in a switchboard. This is good for just like unscrewing a lot of stuff at once or screwing in a lot of not important screws at once. But if you're doing anything important, I still use an actual screwdriver just because you can feel the tension. With this, you can't really feel how tight it is or whatever. But apparently you can get ones that have have the actual tension setting on them. I don't know, maybe I got the cheap one or something. And this pencil's awesome. I'll talk about this $20 pencil for a sec. That's cool that it just sits there. It's got a sharpener on the other end, and clicky, clicky, clicky. And you know, when you just can't get something deep enough, you never have a problem with these things. So yeah, I'm a fan of the ridiculously expensive pencil. And then just knee pads. These Neons been really good, lasted ages. I always need to wear knee pads. Sometimes I wear a brace as well if it's cold and my knee hurts. Then we got, a couple of drills. And now these, there we go, I did put a tough built. That's a tough built clip, so I can clip my belt onto my trolley. But I never bother. I always just either wear my belt or dump it in there. So these are on a base plate, which is pretty cool. Super duper overpriced, but very, very handy. So if I can find the bloody spot, where's it going there? Cool. So yeah, they all clip on. I've got 3 of those pads, and all the boxes clip together and sit there nicely. This side's always the neatest side. This side never really descends into chaos like the other side. So yeah, I definitely will always use the Packout stuff. It's just so much easier. What do we got here? We have a socket set. I had all these labelled, but the labels have fallen off and the writing's rubbed off. Won't bother opening that. You know what a socket set looks like, don't you? Yep. What am I going to do with them? Put them there. Well, underneath, so we've got the radio, fan, which is probably my favourite tool, the fan. I do sit some conduit down in here. This is another one rolled off somewhere over there somehow. How it got all the way over there. Blower, nail gun, circ saw, just in tubs that just sit here. They sit here quite happily. Never have a problem with them sliding around. Vac, extension, bits for the vac, heat gun. That heat gun's good. The Milwaukee heat gun's good, like the 18-volt one, just for small stuff. But you'll never shrink like big, thick heat shrink like the glued stuff. That you just wouldn't bother. Blowtorch for that stuff. But it's good. The 18-volt little thing's just good for small to medium size. So this is lugs. And little bootlaces and stuff like that. Bootlace tool in there. Wacos, which I don't like. I don't even know why I've still got those in there. I use them for just like data and like little stuff that doesn't matter. But I've had to fix too many people's bad jobs with Wacos, with loose connections and earths falling out and all sorts of crazy stuff with those Wacos. So, seen them fail too many times. Data, so this will be, TV and data. It's just such a neat system. I love it. Gives my autism a hard on. So, little RJs, TV stuff, data stuff, all fits in here nicely. So if I'm doing any sort of TV or data, I just clip this little box on and away I go. Where can you go? You can on the floor. Alright, this is conduit bits. It's only 20 and 25 mil because that's like 90% of the conduit stuff I do. A lot of it's 25, some of it's 20, and then anything bigger than that, I've got. There's bits and pieces in here, but anything bigger than that, I specially order stuff for the job. If it's like 32 mil or whatever. Screw box. This is my baby. So we got, well, you know what screws look like. There's a lot of screws. Alrighty. These are really cool. Small, like really small gauge. I think they're 6 gauge, and tiny little heads on them. Just handy for a array of things that you don't know that you need them for until you need them, and then when you've got them, they're super handy. Yeah, and yeah, bits and pieces to use. And under there, stop playing Jenga, big boy Jenga. All right, nuts and bolts. So, yep, nuts and bolts. Ta-da! And for some reason, there's earth clamps. I think I had, yeah, I've got the little butterfly toggles in there. I don't know why they're not in the screw box. They just somehow ended up in the nuts and bolts box. Now, the drawers. The drawers are awesome. If you do pack out the rolling toolbox, every time you get a rolling toolbox out, which is it's not this, that's a trolley. The rolling toolbox just has a box permanently on the bottom. Storage is really hard. That would have to sit here, and I think it would probably be too tall with the handle at the back, because the handle at the back doesn't go down all the way. It sits out, I don't know, 300 or 400 or something like that. So it's quite awkward to store for starters. And then the other problem you get with the rolling toolbox is you pack all your tools into the box at the bottom, or stuff or stock or whatever you need, and then you stack all these guys on top, and then you get to your site, you got to take all these guys off to open up the box at the bottom. So it's a pretty shitty design. I don't know why they didn't put these on the bottom. Probably just a money making thing or whatever. But unfortunately the only option you're left with is is this, which is also very big and bulky. In other ways, it takes up half the underneath of the trailer. But with and the wheelbase is smaller, so you got to be a little bit more careful when you're moving this around. But yeah, when you go this route, then you can put drawers on the bottom, and you don't have to unstack everything to get to whatever. So usually I'll just put this drawer on the bottom, this set of drawers, which is, to the left we've got little fishing rods, eBay for I think $12 for a pack or something. They're super handy. Long drill bits, zippies, yeah, nothing too exciting over there. And then obviously access to all the back stuff here. So drawers. So this is just stuff that I need frequently that I can just grab, and some random stuff that shouldn't still be in there. So another RCD tripper, prong tester. That's my headphones, and they actually share the battery with my head torch, so it's the same battery as the head torch. I better turn that off because it's going to connect to my Bluetooth and screw the video up. Yeah, so gloves and nothing crazy in there. Then this is the hand tools that are not in my pouch, but I need most of the time, or frequently. And I won't go through all them, but have a geeze. Sorry, forgot to mention, most important tool a Sparky can have, a broken coat hanger. It's our number one tool. We should make a bumper sticker saying like broken coat hangers for life or something. Here we go, the bottom drawer, spanners, and not hole saws, spade bits and bore bits. And I've got a little socket set, so I rarely need to get the big boy out. 90% of domestic stuff at least I can do with a little socket set, so that's cool. And just some random weird bits, Allen key bits and stuff. If I'm doing 50 lights, they're all Allen key. I can just bang that on the driver and whiz them all in. Hole saws, clips, blue points, drill bits, and when I break one or one goes too blunt or whatever, I just replace it. So I showed you, I've got a second drill bit case over there. So I'll just keep that constantly topped up. I'm pretty rough on my tools. I go through a few of them. And then just miscellaneous SDS bits, 20mm extensions. Yeah, can pretty much get any bit for my drills that I want out of that one. These are good too, and they're lockable, which is cool. So if you ever want to lock, you can put a padlock in on there, and no one can nick your stuff, which is pretty good. So for transit, you just do that, and the drawers can't come out. Ta-da! And that does fold away too if you want to like keep it like that. But if I do that and I hit a corner too hard, the drawers fly open and stuff gets messed up. So there's usually something else in here. I can't remember what it is though. But yeah, 240 charger. Usually keep a battery or two in here somewhere. Yeah, hammer drill. This thing's great. This thing is great too if you know how to use it without putting clips through the cables. It's great. Just because your apprentice put clips through the cables doesn't mean it can't be used. This thing, little tile grinder, flipping awesome. And I'll use it for things that I probably shouldn't. I use it for cutting conduit and all sorts of stuff. I'd just keep it on me a lot. And cutting really neat duct work. This is nifty. Precision cutting. It's great. Great little grinder. But actually, a flaw is these. A guy I used to work with got one, and the bolt seized, and my bolt is somehow seized as well. I think it's probably reversed to the normal bolt thread or something, and we tightened it the wrong way or something stupid. But somehow we both have seized bolts, and I cannot get that undone for the life of me. So that blade is just going to stay on forever. What else can I show you? That's probably it, guys. I reckon that's that. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the antics. And yeah, any questions, send them through. Like I said, Sparky trailer isn't for everybody, but it suits me down to a T.